Number 25, separation of the laminates. Separation of the laminates. Separation of the laminates. So when inspecting a composite panel using a ring test or tapping method, a dull thud may indicate a separation of the laminates. A separation of the laminates. When you're inspecting and you do the coin tap test and you hear a dull thud, well, it may include a separation of the laminates. Number 26, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so which of the following are benefits of using microballoons when making repairs to laminated honeycomb panels? Well, 2, it improves the strength to weight ratio. It's less dense and lower stress concentrators. Once again, 2, 3, and 4. It improves the strength to weight ratio. It's less dense and lower strength concentrations. Okay? Number 27. It's a pot life. Pot life. Pot life. The length of time that catalyzed resins will remain in a workable state is called the pot life. Length of time that the catalyzed resin will remain in its workable state is called the pot life. So when you're mixing it, that's in a state like that, it'll be its pot life for a certain amount of time. You need to know how long you have to work with it. That's called the pot life. Pot life. Number 28, thermoplastic. 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 A category of plastic material that is capable of softening or flowing when reheated is described as a thermoplastic. Thermoplastic. The category of plastic material that is capable of softening or flowing when reheated is described as thermoplastic. 29. It's the S-class. The classification of high tensile strength fiberglass used in aircraft structure is an S-glass. Strength. S-glass. The classification for high tensile strength fiberglass used on aircraft structure is called the S-glass. Number 30. Zinc chloride will have no effect. Zinc chloride will have no effect, which is an identifying characteristics of acrylic plastics. Zinc chloride will have no effect. Zinc chloride will have no effects. Which is identifying characteristics of acrylic plastics? Zinc chloride will have no effect. Number 31. One or more coats of suitable resin at room temperature catalyzed to the surface. One or more coats of suitable resin which has been catalyzed at room temperature to the surface. So superficial scars, scratches, surface abrasions, or rain erosion on fiberglass laminates can generally be repaired by applying one or more coats of suitable resin catalyzed at room temperature, and you add that to the surface. One or more coats of suitable resin added to the surface. Number 32, it's E-glass. E-glass, the classification of fiberglass for reinforcement material that is high resistivity is the most common E-glass. The classification for fiberglass reinforcement material that has high resistivity is most commonly known as E-glass. Resistivity, E-glass. Number 33, 1 inch in diameter. 1 inch in diameter. So a potted compound repair on honeycomb can usually be made on damage less than 1 inch in diameter. 1 inch in diameter. A potted compound repair on honeycomb can usually be made on damages less than 1 inch in diameter. Number 34, it's a warp. It's a warp. Composite fabric material is considered to be the strongest in what direction? Warp. Its composite strongest material is the warp. Composite fabric material is considered to be the strongest in warp direction. Number 35, warp clock or compass. Warp clock or compass. What reference tool is used to determine how the fiber is to be oriented for a particular ply or fabric? You use a warp clock or a compass. You use a warp clock or a compass. Okay? Number 36, the orientation of the plies to the load direction. The orientation of the plies to the load direction. The orientation of the plies to the load direction. The strength and the stiffness of a properly constructed composite buildup depends primarily on the orientation of the plies in the load direction. Orientation of the plies to the load direction. Guys, take another quiz, and I'll see you soon.